working for you.
Chatham County voters flocked to the polls this afternoon. Good evening, I'm Chelsea McDonald. Thanks for watching WJCL News at 11. It's a historic moment for these voters because it's the first time they've been allowed to participate in early voting on a Sunday. WJCL's Brandon Livornia was at the polls earlier today. He has more on this story.
Those in the county were hoping that Sunday polls would draw more voters into their main office. Much of the afternoon looked like a line at the supermarket, something voters say is very uncommon but welcomed. Sandra Crew calls herself a patriot. It's why she's outside the Board of Registrar's office on Eisenhower Drive, handing out waters and chairs to those waiting in line to vote.
I pulled up at 12 o'clock and we have a line around the building and it has not ceased yet, and I am so proud of the people that are coming out here. Those in the county are following a new trend in Georgia, opening the polls on a Sunday. In order to attract voters that normally can't make it, Crew, along with her friends, are trying to engage Chatham County residents to vote and be excited that they filled out their ballot. The only way you can keep it in going is to be out here and vote. If you don't put your opinion out here, nobody's going to do it for you. Voters hope that Chatham County will continue these early voting sessions in the years to come. They say it's much easier than it was before. Crew hopes the experiment sticks with Chatham County. We need to have the voting on Sunday in particular because our people are working people and they need to be able to get out here. And Sunday is usually the only day a lot of them have off. Like Eugene Ellison. Ellison says he's one of the voters the county is trying to bring into the polls.
Well, it's easy to vote on Sunday. I just left church and most of my church members come to vote today. And I got a day off today, so I decided to come down and do it.
In May, only 23% of registered voters turned out to the polls, a 2% increase from the previous elections. The election is November 4th. In the studio, I'm Brandon Livornia for WJCL News, working for you.
WJCL News is your elections headquarters. We are working for you on air and online at WJCL.com. There you can see all of our coverage this political season. Just click the local politics section under the news tab. Beaufort County Sheriff deputies arrested a man and a 16-year-old for drugs. It happened at a traffic stop. 22-year-old Dominic Edmonds is charged with trafficking cocaine and Xanax pills. He faces other drug charges related to prescription medications and marijuana. Deputies also arrested a juvenile passenger. They say he was in possession of Xanax and marijuana too. And deputies in Beaufort County need your help identifying 3 suspects from an armed robbery. Take a good look at the pictures on your screen. The armed robbery took place at the Shell Food Mart on Trask Parkway earlier this week. Deputies say the suspects took money from the register, cigarettes, and cigarillos. Investigators believe the suspects might be near the Rosetta area. Anyone with information should call the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office at the number on your screen. Hundreds are asking Savannah neighbors to end violent crimes. The Savannah Youth City Incorporated organized a Stop the Violence march yesterday. It united Savannah residents from all over. Several religious and city leaders attended the rally, and Alderman Van Johnson says he's proud neighbors are using their words and not more violence to solve issues.
Savannah has been all right since 1733. We are okay because it is the people, and we're going to continue to be okay because of the people.
Savannah religious leaders are calling for unity following the string of violence over the last month. They're holding a meeting of healing communities Wednesday at the Civic Center at 6 p.m. WJCL is working for you by tracking crime in your neighborhood, and you can too. Head on over to our website, WJCL.com. Click on the crime map in our web links section. This map shows all of the aggravated assaults from the past week. Again, to track crime in your area, just go to our website, WJCL.com. Storm tracker meteorologist Samara Theodore joins us now. We don't want the Monday blues tomorrow, so is it going to be sunshiny and pretty outside?
Well, I can't give it all away just yet. I got to leave a little teaser so people stay tuned. Let's go ahead and start off, though, by taking a look at the live radar. If this is any indicator of what it's going to be like tomorrow, well, very clear and dry. Notice that's across much of the southeast. We're seeing some of this weather, this great weather. In terms of temperatures, though, it is getting a little nippy out there as they continue to fall. Not too bad. 67 degrees in Savannah, mild as well in areas like Hilton Head, 64 all the way down to 59, though, out towards Hampton, and 62 for our neighbors out in Glenville. Now, as for tonight's overnight lows, they will continue to fall to the mid-50s. We are expecting clear skies, though, and like I said, it could feel chilly for some, especially if you live further inland. You're going to want to stay tuned though, because in our Storm Tracker weather headlines, we are following a few things. I know some of you are wondering what's Halloween going to be looking like, especially if I'm out trick-or-treating. I'll let you know when your next chance for rain is and the near record highs we reached. That's it for now though. Back to you, Chelsea.
Thanks, Tamara. A Statesboro man is sentenced to 15 years in prison for soliciting images of child pornography over the internet. 52-year-old Stuart Johnson is also subject to 20 years of supervised release and will be required to register as a sex offender. Johnson pleaded guilty in June after investigators say he used an email account and international website to solicit images of child sexual abuse. Local bartenders and Rape Crisis Center leaders are using beauty to combat an ugly problem. The Rape Crisis Center hosted a hair and fashion show to help raise awareness for Savannah Chatham's Metro's Bar Bystander program. The program aims to reduce the number of sexual assaults in Savannah, helping to train bartenders to be aware of predators in their bars.
So by training bar employees as to be aware and what to look for, then they would know how to prevent some of these incidents from happening.
According to Metro police officers, more than 50% of reported sexual assaults involved alcohol. Savannah neighbors are sounding off about noise from the Truman Parkway. The county heard their concerns and ordered a study. Now, this was the second study done. More than 15 years ago, the same company projected how loud it would be. Over the summer, they said those numbers match their projections, and they say the numbers aren't loud enough to get state or federal money for a sound wall. The county spent nearly $20,000 on the study. Now they have options. Commissioners could order another study, build a wall with county money, appeal to the state or federal government, or do nothing. A plan to build new apartments was denied by Chatham County leaders. Owners of the Country Club on Jasmine Avenue in Savannah wanted to put dozens of two-story apartments on the property. Problem is, the area is zoned for single-family homes, so they needed county approval. People living near the course didn't want them, and some expressed concerns at a commission meeting, and the commissioners sided with residents. Developers can reapply to the county to get it rezoned again, but that could take another year. Georgia Department of Public Health officials are considering checking school vaccination records for errors and publishing a report when accurate data is available. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reports Georgia doesn't publish student vaccination data online because the information is incomplete and in some cases inaccurate. Georgia law generally requires students to be immunized from several diseases. However, the paper reports state officials do relatively little to check compliance with vaccination laws. And data shows Georgia universities with Division I football programs are willing to make exceptions to admission requirements for football players. The schools have become more competitive for other incoming freshmen. The AJC analyzed Georgia Southern and other universities in Georgia. They found a pattern of football players trailing the general student population in several areas, including SAT scores, GPAs, and graduation rates. GSU Vice Provost Timothy Rennick says special admissions are made on a case-by-case basis. WJCL is working for you, teaming up with the Effingham County Sheriff's Office each week to tell you about possible shady deals and cons. Tonight, there's several issues with Craigslist, IRS agents, and the lottery. I have information you need to know as we tell citizens to beware. There aren't any victims this week, but Effingham County Sheriff deputies want to remind you, if you're buying or selling on Craigslist, thieves are trying to steal your money.
An unknown person sends them just this, outrageous amount, more so than what they're asking, asks them to pay the shippers whenever the shippers arrive to take possession of the furniture.
But at the last minute, they'll ask you to Western Union or MoneyGram the amount of the shipping to them directly. Then they say they would send a shipper to get it.
It's all a complete scam. You're going to take their money, they're expecting you to deposit into your banking institution, send them the shipping money, and then you find out later on that the check is in fact a fraudulent check and you're responsible back to your bank, financial institution.
And don't forget phonies pretending to be an IRS agent.
Advising them that they have a unpaid tax debt for a certain year and wanting them to contact them.
Also, some people are getting calls saying they won $10 million, but the winner would have to send them tax money first.
If you haven't registered for any kind of a lottery, if you haven't paid for any type of lottery. If you get any information from overseas in reference to a lottery that you won, you can guarantee that it's a scam.
Remember, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Chelsea McDonald, WJCL News, working for you. Coming up on WJCL News, it was a big day for one woman in the Coastal Empire. We'll share her special day with you after the break.